My name is J Gregory, and I am committed to hunting down the secrets of business mastery and human performance. My goal for the Unstoppable podcast is to share insights from some of the most successful entrepreneurs, inspiring thought leaders, world-class athletes, and prominent celebrities to help you to become unstoppable in business and life. Each week I'll be bringing you a new interview with an inspiring person and sharing my own results as I pursue the answers to the question, how can I create the ultimate edge in my business, make a significant impact, and live an extraordinary life? To kick off the Unstoppable podcast, I've put together a very special 10-part series designed to help you to achieve your most adventurous goals this year. Each episode within this series will contain specific lessons to help you become unstoppable in business and life. And the first 5 episodes are available for download right now on iTunes and Stitcher. So please make sure you subscribe to the show to get the full 10-part series. Welcome to episode 7 of the Unstoppable podcast. Based on the feedback from the first 5 episodes, I am doing my second episode here live just from notes, not working from a script like I was in the first 5 episodes. So you'll find a new level of energy as I kind of step into my flow with the podcast. So hopefully you're beginning to notice the difference and starting to feel the shift in the energy levels. I'm really pleased with the direction it's going. So everything we've talked about so far in this series has been about getting in alignment with your big picture, your most important desires, from overcoming the things that hold you back to becoming more productive, which is what we talked about in the previous episode. We looked at how you can get more done in less time, and I shared 5 powerful daily habits that will help you do just that. Learning how to get more out of a day by increasing your productivity is one thing, but figuring out how you would ideally spend your time every single day is an even bigger topic. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at things a little more experientially. I'm going to be exploring the idea of being able to design your experience of life on a daily basis in a way that makes you feel totally alive. My goal is to help you to create a design for your ideal day and help you get clear on how to live life on your own terms. So I've already talked at length during the podcast about my kind of dissatisfaction with a corporate career. I wasn't spending my days in a way that fulfilled me. I was doing long hours and spending a lot of time focused on objectives that were for someone else's benefit. And I believe that life is too short for that. So I had to make a shift. So as you know, I left my corporate job and ended up in California for a couple of months in the sunshine, having a wonderful time. One of my lifelong objectives was to go and visit the Californian coast. So it was a real privilege to be there and enjoy every single moment of being there. And it truly was sunny every single day. It was beautiful. But when I came back, I didn't really have a plan of where I was going to live. So I ended up back with my parents for a very short period of time before getting a call from one of my good friends who lives here in Bristol, where I live now. And he said, I've just bought a place. Would you like to come and live with me? This is a friend of mine who I've known for years. We went to university together, a really good friend of mine. And I didn't even look where the house was. And I said, yeah, sure. I'll come and work from Bristol because I just started my online business. So it didn't really matter where I lived. So I took the leap and went to live with my friend in Bristol. And it was great fun initially, but life does change. We all have different priorities. The friends I was living with, it was a group shared accommodation again, a bit like it was when we were at uni. And we did have a good laugh, but we all had different priorities. And when I met Lizzie, my partner, we decided that we wanted to move in together. So she ended up moving in as well. So there we were in our double room in a shared house in Bristol. And business hadn't exactly been going how I wanted it to go. I was in a state of overwhelm, which I've already talked about, feeling the struggle. So I really took it upon myself to get clarity on what I wanted to achieve. It was that moment that something had to change and I had to get really clear on where I wanted to go. And what I ended up doing was making some clear decisions about what I wanted to do for my business and, more importantly, how I wanted to live each day of my life. What did I want each day to look like? How do I want to experience each day? The first step, though, was to take responsibility for my circumstances. I hadn't got the financial abundance that I was looking for. In fact, I was struggling, and I had to accept that how I was living my life was under my direct control, and that my results were a reflection of my actions and what I was thinking about at the time. So the second thing, I had to see things as they are, not worse than they are, but as they are, and confront the reality and be honest with myself. What I was happy about, I had to look at, and I also looked at what I was not so happy about. And I was looking at all the things that was leading to where I was in that moment in time. But thirdly, I took the opportunity to be grateful and appreciative for what I already have. Granted, I wasn't where I wanted to be, but in order for us to bring more into our life, I have the belief that we need to be grateful for what we already do have. Then step 4, I started to see things how I wanted them to be. And it gave me the opportunity to really validate my big picture. The things that had been working and the things that hadn't been working, some of those things were as a result of where I thought my heading was going to be. So I took time to clarify and validate my big ideas, and it was important for me to choose outcomes where I'd enjoy the journey as much as I enjoyed the destination. That struggle that I'd been through, it felt like force versus flow. I wasn't stepping into my genius zone that we talked about in the previous episode. So number 5 was then for me to think about, how am I going to make it the way I see it? And this kind of 5-step process was really important for me because it gave me appreciation and gratitude for everything that I already have. Not only that, but it gave me clarity on how I want to experience life going forward. I come from a place of dissatisfaction, but I wanted to step into pleasure. I wanted to have a life that really excited me. But not only that, I wanted to enjoy the journey as much as the destination that I was going towards. And that gave me a new sense of being in the now and enjoying the moment, because your life is short. I'm working towards this big goal, but if I can't enjoy the day-to-day grind, as it were, then I'm not doing the right things. So it started with, how do I want to feel? And then I wanted to shape my actions and shape my world around that sense of feeling. So the first thing I really stopped to consider is what are the emotions? What are the core emotions that I desire on a daily basis? And things like passion, excitement, energy, vitality, playfulness, happiness, being in a state of flow, having a sense of inner peace. This is where I began the journey. It's like, how do I want to feel every single day? And then I'm going to design my day based around those core desired feelings. So I went through everything from how I'm going to start my day, how I'm going to wake up, what I'm going to have for breakfast, right through to what I'm going to do each hour of the day. The idea behind this was to come up with a framework that I can build my day around. I'll share my ideal day with you. So I set the vision, I considered everything right from the beginning of the day to the end of the day and how I wanted to experience the day. So I've already spoken about how I wanted to live life with passion, excitement, energy, vitality, playfulness, happiness, joy, being at peace, being in flow. But then I looked at some of the specifics. So I wanted to wake up next to my partner, Lizzie, in our dream home by the ocean, overlooking the sea. And I can see the sunshine, I can see the waves lapping at the beach. And I can imagine us training together in our home gym before taking a quick swim in our pool. And then taking a moment to express our gratitude in the hot tub and really feeling blessed for what we've created and what we have. And then after that morning routine, having a nutritious breakfast together, fresh green juice, nourishing our bodies right from the outset of the day, and sharing our plans for what we're going to do and achieve before sharing a kiss and telling each other how much we love each other before starting our working day. I'd spend the morning interviewing some incredible people for this podcast and have some amazing conversations with people who I now consider my new friends. I would take some client calls before lunch overlooking the ocean, and then meet Lizzie out for lunch and have a lovely healthy salad in the sunshine before returning to my office at home and planning an exciting event, having back-to-back client calls where I help my clients to create amazing breakthroughs in their business, and then close out the day by interacting with some of my followers on social media before hitting the gym for another great workout, and then having a lovely dinner with Lizzie and sharing our stories and our joy from the day and what we've been grateful for. Then after dinner, go out for a walk and perhaps take a ride in our boat before meeting some friends for a glass of wine, and then return home and relax in the hot tub again before an early night where I won't go any further, but we share a passionate expression of our love in the bedroom and getting a good night's sleep. I can't give any more detail than that because I might lose my clean rating on iTunes. But this is how I visualize my day. Having this clear vision for what I want my ideal day to look like enables me to alter the course so that I finally bring it into existence. You know, some of the things in that ideal vision, yes, I do every single morning. The morning routine, that's very much part of my day. And I can definitely see the podcast interviews taking shape And, a lot of the things I'm working on at the moment will steer my day towards that ideal vision. I don't live by the ocean just yet. I do have a beautiful harbourside view when I step out the front of my apartment, but it's not quite how I see it yet. And I also want the flexibility to be able to travel. So having this clear vision gives me the path that I know that I need to walk on to get where I want to be. What this process has enabled me to do is really help me make plans to adjust my life to get closer to that ideal day. And it's given me more awareness about the decisions that I make on a daily basis about how I spend my time and what I focus on. But not only that, it's given me a greater sense of purpose and a deeper meaning to my actions. So my question for you is, how do you want to experience each day? How do you want to feel every day? What do you already do that provides this experience or makes you feel this way? What would add to this for you? What currently detracts from your ideal experience that you have the power to eliminate or reduce? How do you want to show up in each area of your life every day? Let's walk through your ideal day. How would you feel first thing? How excited would you be for the day? What would be the first thing you do when you wake up? Would you meditate? Would you hit the gym? Who would you wake up next to? Where would you be waking up? What's the very first thing you'd do when you get up? How would you spend your morning? Emotionally, how would you feel? Passionate, excited, confident, courageous? What are all the things that you'd want to do in your morning? How about lunch? It's never long before I bring things back to food. What would you do for lunch? Would you go out? Would you chill in your garden? Who would you have lunch with? What would you talk about? What kind of food would you have on your ideal day? Is it nutritious food that energizes you or something you just really crave and desire? What would you do in the afternoon? What would you do after lunch? What would you want to get done? Who would you want to meet with? What kind of activities would you be going through in your business? How well would your business be doing? What role would you personally take on your ideal day? Would you be the father? Would you be the entrepreneur? Would you be the leader? What would your role be? What are all the things that you would want to happen to make the day special? What would you have for dinner? Who would you be with? What conversations would you have? And after dinner, what would you do with your evening? Would you go out to watch a movie? Would you take a walk? Would you go work out again? How would you wrap up your day? What would you be grateful for that day? Who would you be grateful for? Would you take a moment to notice how awesome your day was and that this is the life that you created? What time would you go to bed? How would you sleep? I hope I've taken your mind on a bit of a journey. This is a powerful thing to do. I strongly recommend taking some time out to write out your ideal day. I have it here in my journal with me. I read it every single morning alongside my goals. It helps me keep focused and it makes sure that my experience of life is aligned with what I'm trying to achieve. So to help you, I've put this process and all these questions I've just fired at you in the show notes over at unstoppablepodcast.com/ you guessed it, ideal day. So go check them out and join the conversation on the blog. Thanks again for listening to this episode. Remember to subscribe on iTunes to make sure that you receive every single part of this 10-part series. And while you're there, I would be really grateful if you would please leave a 5-star review to help spread the word. Finally, I've just launched the Unstoppable Mastermind, which is a private Facebook group. I'll be sharing even more content to help you become unstoppable in business and life. So please come over and introduce yourself over at unstoppablepodcast.com/tribe. In the next episode of this 10-part series, I'll be exploring the concept of identity. This is about who we need to be at our core to experience life the way we want to, and how the way we see ourselves directly affects the way other people see us. I'll be sharing a process that I've been going through myself recently to ensure that my identity is in alignment with who I need to become to fulfill my ultimate vision. And this will enable you to understand what shifts that you need to make in your own life to live life on your terms. I can't wait to share the episode with you. In the meantime, know that you're unstoppable. Peace out for now.